Hey, today we're going to do an absolutely fantastic song for beginners and intermediates, written by Dylan and Hargrove. Tennessee Whiskey is the song, covered by a multitude of people, including, famously, Chris Stapleton. So there's no bar chords are necessary because of this little device right here, the little capo. And I'm going to show you a simple strum pattern with a little bit of spice, and the desired or the goal strum pattern. I'll talk about the little intro for the song as well as the full intro riff. So coming up, here we go, Tennessee Whiskey. Hey everyone, Paul here, PZ Guitar, your virtual practice partner. Today we're gonna learn a new song, Tennessee Whiskey. You know, Dylan and Hargrove. I think it was first performed or first recorded by David Allen Coe in the early '80s, but more recently by Chris Stapleton, which put him on the map. No bar chords are necessary, even though it's in the key of A. And a 2 chord is required, or a B minor chord, but with this little magic device right here, we can get away without doing any bar chords. So here we go. Let's talk about the chords and the simple strum patterns are coming up. Here we go. So the chords for Tennessee Whiskey, relative to the capo, is a G chord. An A minor chord is the 2 chord. The 4 chord is a C chord. And so the progression for that is a G, A minor, a C, and then a G. And then you repeat, G, A minor, C, G. And oh, by the way, I've got a great document that you can download for free. It's going to be, the link will be in the description. So please add that to your PZ Guitar library. It has all sorts of pictures and arrows and all sorts of stuff on here. And it gives you some alternative ways of playing as well as other chords. For example, on the G chord, I like the David Bowie, the rock and roll, the 4-fingered, the big boy G chord. And that's relative to the capo. 3, 2, open, 3, 3. With my middle index ring pinky. You may like to use this version of a G chord, where I don't use my pinky, I go 3, 2, open, 3. Still a G chord. You may like to play, oftentimes I do, use my pinky in this fashion. Whatever G chord you want to use, that's up to you. You use it. Use the one that you're most comfortable with. Practice them all, but use the one that you are most comfortable with. For the A chord, for the A minor chord, there's pretty much just the one A minor chord. And for the C chord, there's just a C chord. Although, I'm going to show you when we do a little bit of spice, that there might be some other versions of the C chord you might want to consider. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So, for simple strum pattern number 1. This song is in 12/8 time. What? If you wanted to count along in 12/8 time, you have to count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That's just too much math. So instead, we're going to take one measure of 12/8 and divide it up into 2 measures of 6/8. That's a little bit easier, a little bit more digestible to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 2 6/8 measures, that's one overall measure. So that's what we're going to do. So right now, what we're going to do is, and we'll do it on the G chord here, and that is, we're just going to practice the basic strum, just down strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You may have noticed that I'm doing something a little special even within that simple strum pattern. I'm just only on beat 4 am I hitting all the strings. The rest of them I'm just using just the low bass strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be our simple little strum pattern. So let's practice that, okay, with using the full progression. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use the full progression, the G, A minor, C, G, and we're just going to use simple down strums. And we're going to emphasize beat 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay on it. So that was 2 rounds of the G, A minor, C, and G, where we're emphasizing beat 4, okay? So loop that back, practice that, get that down. That's now beginning to sound like the song a little bit. So now let's spice it up a little. So now with that being hopefully in the bag here, let's add a little bit of spice here. So the little bit of spice happens on the 4th measure, on that second time we do the G, and it's the last couple downstrokes that we revert back to chord C. 1, 2, 3. So did you catch it there? So it's basically those last 2 hits on that G chord. I use a C chord. And then I go back up to the top and start the round over again. But wait a minute. What kind of chord did I use here? You said a C chord. Yeah, you know what? Depending upon your ability and your level, sometimes going from a G chord like this all the way to here and going back again is too quick of a transition. So you know what? We're going to use some alternative C chords, because there's a lot of C chords there's a lot of C chords in the world here. So if you are using a G chord like I do, you know, the big boy 4-fingered rock and roll David Bowie G chord. It's on the screen, or on the screen over here. Then all you have to do now to make a C chord of a sort is, if I move these 2 fingers, a string set this way, and I mute that low E string, this is a C add 9, or what I call the Matchbox 20 chord. And so the transition between the 2 chords is actually relatively painless. So between the G and a C add 9, that works out really, really well. Okay? If you like to do a G chord where I'm not using my pinky, but I'm using 2, 1, 3, then if you now keep this as an anchor point, excuse me, you play now this. This is now a C major 7. It's still a C chord. It's still a major chord. It's a C major 7. Works out great. Okay, if you like using the C chord like this with the pinky, you may want to do the same thing to make a C major 7. Or the transition to the typical open C chord is not so bad in this position. I will leave that to you. It's in the documentation what is the various different options that you may have. Practice them all, find your niche, and find the way that will allow you to keep playing the song. So we've now done, so actually, you know what, let's play that one more time with the spice. What do you say? Okay, here we go. Okay, so that has that little bit of a spice, that little revert back to the 4 chord, the subdominant chord, as they say, and back onto the 1 chord, and because that's what they kind of do on the record. Let's move on, and now let's talk about a little bit of a strum, a little bit more of an advanced strum, but with a good swing feel. Okay, so the swing feel is, it's basically, if you just take a look at it from it'll be on the screen here. 1 and 2. So let's go play that. Let's go play that final strum pattern all the way through to give you a good feel. And when it comes to that little bit of spice, you want to do an down, you want to do an up, you really want to do it. Whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. It really is. Okay. It just adds a little bit of sonic interest. So here we go. Okay, so that was an example. I played it kind of differently every time, and that's one of the nice things about, playing the song is you make it your own. Okay, and eventually you zoom in on the version that you want to play. So let's talk about the intro riff. Okay, let's talk about, because there's 2 versions of the intro riff. So intro riff 1, the abbreviated intro riff, is we start on the D string, open fret, and then 2nd fret, and then on the G string, open. 4, 5, 6. And so that leads you into, it's like a pickup measure for the song here. The full riff. So again, it's now if you want to play the full riff, which you can play the full riff anytime you want. Okay, and you could use the full riff as the intro, which is perfectly fine. But we start off the same. And now we're going to do a slide from 2nd fret. So everything's been the same so far. D string, open, 2, open. And now we're going to fret 2nd fret and slide up to the 4. And shake it. That's the first measure. Do that again. So we're going to stay on that G string, 2nd fret, and we're going to slide up to 4 and back to 2. And then a pull off. If you don't want to do a pull off, you can just pick the note as well, whatever you want to do it. Or so putting those 2 things together. Okay, and now we're going to do a 2-4-2 again, a slide of 2nd fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, and shake. So let's put those 3 things together. So those are the first three, okay? So here's our first measure. So let's go through each measure one by one. And now 2, 4, 2 and a pull. And now we just do a 2, 4, 2 shake. And now we do a couple of slides from 2 to 4 and then back. So my suggestion is you may want to use a different finger, whether you use the first finger for the slides, second finger, or the third finger, that's up to you. But I suggest, because of the timing of the way it gets played, that you use this on this fourth measure, On the first slide you use your ring finger, because now right underneath it is my index finger, because I want to do this quick. So I'm going to use my ring, then my index finger, and then just wait just a tad, and then go back and shake. Let's put it all together, a little bit by bit. And now we repeat our second measure with a 2, 4, 2 pull and a hit. And that's our intro, okay? It's in the documentation. Practice that. And at any time that you want, in the middle of playing, the rhythm section here, you can start out when you start that G chord before the A, throw in the riff. Hey, it's the way you want to play it. It's the way it should be. So hey, thanks for sticking around and practicing with me and learning a new song. Tennessee Whiskey, made famous most recently by Chris Stapleton, who I'm becoming a big fan of, by the way. And so that's today's song. If you haven't already, subscribe. I appreciate it. Give me some comments, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, while playing, because it means you got soul. And today, I feel like when I go to edit this thing, I'm going to find out I'm going to have a lot of soul. But anyway, keep playing it, make it yours, have fun. I'll keep practicing, and I'll see you soon. Promise. Hey everyone, up here is going to be a video that you might want to watch next, or down here could be a playlist that could be of interest. So I suggest that you either click here, or click both. It's up to you. But in either case, I'll see you soon.